Hey, Myagi here. Welcome to the first in a series of drum synthesis tutorials, and today we're going to look at creating this tom sound using FM Synthesis and Corpus, Live's physical modeling resonator. Here's the sound soloed, and then in the context of a track that I'm working on. So remember, you can grab this pack in the links below and use it in your own productions. Okay, so let's start with Operator, the actual source for this sound. Other devices are adding quite a bit, but the majority of the programming is actually in Operator. We're going to choose the 1-3 algorithm in Operator. This means Operator A goes straight to the output, and the other three have a traditional FM arrangement. I'm just going to quickly set Operator A to noise and give it a very short envelope. This noise blast is very common and useful in percussion synthesis, creating the harmonically dense hit portion of the sound. Now let's build up the tone using FM. I'm going to select the SW3 sawtooth waveform for Operator B and bring it up in the mix. Operator B is going to be the carrier, so its settings are going to dictate what we really hear. I'll bring it up to -3 dB and give it a fairly short decay. Now, to add some complexity to this sound, I'm going to bring Operator C up in the mix to about -6 dB and select a slightly more complex sawtooth wave, the SW4. I'm going to drop its tuning to -0.5, which is going to add a bit of a darker quality to the hit. I'm also going to copy the envelope settings from Operator A as well, that way it takes the same amount of time to fade out. Now, for Operator D, I'm going to go for a slightly longer envelope and a volume of -8 dB. I'm going to up its coarse tuning to the third harmonic and select the SW4 waveform as well. This means that Operator D is going to adjust the timbre of Operator C, which is affecting the timbre of Operator B. A fairly simple FM interaction. Next up, let's add a low-pass filter with a little bit of resonance, and the cutoff fairly low. I'm going to set the envelope up to be fairly staccato as well, with no attack and a short decay. And there's one more quick thing to do to bring this sound alive, and that's to utilize the pitch envelope. I'm going to activate it, then set it to about 30% or so, and I'm going to make sure the pitch envelope is going to all of the operators. Let's just quickly set up a few settings here so that we get a large range on the pitch envelope with a short decay. I'm also going to adjust an envelope curve so it's got a steeper slope, closer to that of an exponential envelope. Okay, so we're ready to move on to Corpus here. I fattened this sound up with a saturator and dropped in Corpus after the fact. First, I'm going to activate the Midi sidechain in and set Corpus to take a Midi input from the tom channel, and then activate the frequency. This means that Corpus will track the keyboard, effectively playing the same pitched MIDI pattern as the toms themselves. I'm going to set it to membrane mode and then to the fuse setting. The membrane mode is designed to respond sort of like the skin of a drum. Next, let's tweak Corpus a little bit so we get a bit more higher frequency in the response. I'll bring up the brightness and then really roll the hit up. I'm also going to add a little bit of an inharmonic quality, which gives us a slightly more natural drum feel. Sweet, so I've just added some compression to the sound and a bit of reverb. Let's have a listen to it, and then we'll listen to the entire loop. So, that's how you can use FM synthesis in Operator and Corpus to create some convincing tom sounds, ones that are way more controllable and sort of personal sounding than anything you'll get from a sample pack. Remember to grab this pack using the link below the video so that you can tweak this out to your heart's content.